When a woman cheats on a man, whether that be physically or emotionally, I blame the man 100% of the time, always.
Gentlemen, I need you to stop what you're doing and pay attention because what I'm about to share could save your relationship and potentially years of heartache. There are specific warning signs that appear before infidelity occurs, and most men completely miss them until it's too late. Today, I'm breaking down 4 deceptive phrases women use when they're emotionally checking out of relationships. These aren't random comments or innocent explanations. They're calculated statements designed to create distance while making you feel guilty for even noticing something's wrong. Before we dive in, let me know what city you're watching from in the comments. These patterns show up everywhere, across all cultures and backgrounds. If this content helps protect your relationship, smash that like button right now. The first phrase that should raise red flags is when she says she hasn't been in the mood lately. Now, guys, this is where most men make a crucial mistake. Your instinct tells you to believe her because it sounds reasonable. Everyone gets stressed, tired, or overwhelmed sometimes. But here's what you need to understand about genuine intimacy issues versus emotional withdrawal. When a woman truly loves and desires you, even during stressful periods, she still craves connection. She might want cuddling, gentle touch, or emotional closeness, even if full intimacy isn't on the table. Stress typically makes us want to feel safer and more connected with our partners, not push them away. However, when a woman completely shuts down from all physical contact for extended periods, when even holding hands feels burdensome to her, when she creates barriers by wearing more clothes to bed or avoiding casual touch, this isn't about being tired. This is about redirection.
A woman will only cheat on a man when it's like by the way, her instilling messages and all that stuff. That's her getting ready. That's fielding options. That's her getting ready to cheat, eventually, or having.
Her body hasn't stopped wanting intimacy. It's stopped wanting intimacy with you. When someone becomes emotionally invested in another person, physical connection with their current partner starts feeling wrong, like betrayal of the new emotional bond they're forming. Watch for this telling pattern. She claims no interest in intimacy with you, but suddenly she's energetic about everything else. New workout routines she talks about constantly, fresh clothes that boost her confidence, renewed interest in her appearance after months of neglect, taking selfies again, buying new perfume, reading romance novels with dreamy expressions. These behaviors reveal where her emotional energy is actually flowing. The second manipulative phrase is when she announces she wants to focus on herself right now. This sounds psychologically healthy and mature, doesn't it? Self-improvement, personal growth, healing, discovering her authentic self. As a supportive partner, you probably encourage this development. But here's the critical difference between genuine personal growth and emotional distancing. Real self-development in committed relationships includes the partner. It involves couples therapy, shared goals, honest conversations about improving the relationship together. Healthy personal growth sounds like sharing discoveries about attachment styles or communication patterns to understand each other better. When a woman suddenly needs to grow in complete isolation,
Control your emotions and never beg for attention, love, or care.
when your support becomes an obstacle to her development, when every suggestion about growing together gets met with resistance, she's creating psychological distance. She needs to build a version of herself that exists independently of you before she can justify betraying you. The cruelest part is how she'll frame your natural desire to be included as controlling or unsupportive. She'll say things like, "You should be happy she's working on herself," or question why you can't support her journey without being involved in everything. Your confusion about being excluded becomes evidence that you're holding her back. Authentic personal growth in relationships is collaborative and brings couples closer. Fake growth uses self-improvement as an excuse to create separation and independence from your partnership. The third red flag phrase is when she accuses you of being too controlling. You ask normal relationship questions like where she was, who she was texting, or about new people she mentions frequently. Suddenly, you're possessive, insecure, toxic, or acting like her father instead of her partner. Here's something crucial to understand. When a woman has a clear conscience, her first reaction to questions is providing answers, not launching attacks.
So why shatter your soul for a temporary gain? Hold yourself and distance yourself.
Someone telling the truth responds with specific details and welcomes your interest. She might say she was at her sister's discussing family issues, or explain that the new coworker reminds her of someone you'd actually like. A truthful woman doesn't get defensive about reasonable questions because transparency builds trust in healthy relationships. She understands that openness strengthens bonds rather than threatening them. But when someone's hiding something, every question feels like an interrogation because honest answers lead to exposure. Instead of providing information, she attacks your right to ask. She turns you into the villain for having basic relationship needs. Watch this pattern carefully. Every concern you express becomes a character attack on you. Every request for transparency gets labeled as controlling behavior. Every time you trust your instincts, she makes you feel crazy for having them. A faithful partner doesn't get offended by reasonable questions because there's nothing to hide. The fourth and most devious phrase is when she suggests you both should be more honest with each other. This sounds like every man's dream, right? Finally, mature communication and the transparent relationship you've always wanted. But here's what's actually happening. She's creating a framework for selective honesty where she controls information flow while appearing to be the evolved partner who values communication.
Was I actually disrespectful? Or did I just set boundaries and because you're so used to being in control, you took it as disrespect?
After this conversation about increased honesty, she starts asking probing questions about your past relationships, work interactions, fears, insecurities, family dynamics, and future goals. She becomes intensely curious about your vulnerabilities, childhood experiences, and intimate history, framing this as deeper intimacy. However, when you ask similar questions, seeking the same transparency she demands from you, suddenly you're being possessive or controlling. She uses your desire for honesty against you, weaponizing the very openness you thought you were building together. She'll share honest things that make her look good or generate sympathy, but won't reveal information that actually matters. She might admit feeling disconnected and blame poor communication, but won't confess to texting an ex or developing feelings for someone else. Real honesty in relationships is effortless, mutual, and consistent. Manipulative honesty is curated and managed, giving you scraps of information while maintaining control over what you actually know. Now, here's the most important part. What should you do with this information? When you hear any of these phrases, don't argue or try to convince her otherwise. Don't become a detective or the relationship police. Don't attempt to logic your way through emotional manipulation. Instead, become an observer. Watch actions, not words, because behavior never lies even when mouths do. If she claims lack of mood, notice whether she's making effort in other relationship areas. Is she still affectionate in non-intimate ways? Does she touch you casually, Or has she withdrawn completely while simultaneously improving her appearance and seeming happier about everything except your relationship?
Be gentle with yourself. Be gracious with yourself in the journey.
If she's working on herself, see whether that growth includes or excludes you. Does she share discoveries? Does her development make her more loving and connected? Or does every aspect require distance and separation from you? If you're supposedly controlling, honestly analyze whether your questions were actually unreasonable. Are you asking normal things any caring partner would ask? Or are you being genuinely possessive? Trust your gut while being brutally honest about your own behavior. If she wants honesty, observe whether you're getting genuine truth or elaborate explanations. Is communication actually improving, or is she providing sophisticated reasons why she needs privacy and freedom from accountability? Most importantly, trust your intuition above everything else. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Your instinct picks up on micro expressions, tone changes, and behavioral inconsistencies your conscious mind hasn't fully processed. When every logical explanation conflicts with what you feel in your chest, believe your chest. The right woman will never require you to be a detective in your own relationship. She'll make truth easy to see, not impossible to find. Remember, you deserve better than manipulation disguised as reasonable communication. A healthy relationship doesn't require you to question your sanity or apologize for having basic needs for transparency and connection. If this video provided clarity you didn't have before, hit that like button and let me know what city you're watching from. Subscribe for more relationship insights that could save your heart and sanity, because recognizing these patterns is the first step toward protecting yourself from emotional manipulation.